Greetings from the South Island of New Zealand. Today is the 18th of January 2024, and I was just wanting to read to you out of Acts 14 from verse 21 and just chat about a couple of things that stood out to me. So this is to do with Paul and preaching to the early church, and it says, and when they had preached the gospel to that city and made many disciples, they returned to Lystra, Iconium, and Antioch, strengthening the souls of the disciples, exhorting them to continue in the faith, and saying, we must through many tribulations enter the kingdom of God. So when they had appointed elders in every church and prayed with fasting, they commended them to the Lord, in whom they had believed. And after they had passed through Pisidia, they came to Pamphylia. Now when they had preached the word in Perga, they went down to Italia, and from there they sailed to Antioch, where they had been commended to the grace of God for the work which they had completed. So there's a few things that struck me when I read that passage, and I'll just mention them briefly. So the first thing that struck me was that they went around making many disciples and strengthening the souls of the disciples and encouraging them and exhorting them to continue in the faith. And they said, and their saying was, we must through many tribulations enter the kingdom of God. So it just struck me that your faith and strengthening of your faith goes hand in hand with many tribulations, and that word tribulations means troubles, it means testing, it means struggling, it means just basically, persecution. So there's various forms of tribulation, and these things, when they come our way, we must be prepared to know that when we do get these testings, when we do get these trials, whatever level they're on, they are there specifically to strengthen our faith. And it's part of us entering the kingdom of God. So, and then it says, so when they had appointed the elders in every church and prayed with fasting, they commended them to the Lord, in whom they had believed. So it was interesting to me that they prayed with fasting. They didn't just pray, they actually prayed and fasted with those elders. And appointed them, and they appointed elders to the church. They didn't appoint a pastor, they appointed elders to the church and committed the elders to the church. And it's like that model of where every person who is being discipled actually plays a part in the church, and it's not just, ministry doesn't just come from the pastor. Excuse me, I just had some noise happening next to me and I had to close the window. And so it's dependent on all of us to be ministers of the word and ministers in the kingdom of God, not pastors only. And so in the early church, there's a pattern here that shows that they appointed elders to those churches. And then so they appointed pastors and prophets and like everything we used to these days. And what else did they say? They commended them to the Lord, in whom they believed, and then they carried on. And so I think there was this theme here that they went preaching, and the fruit of their preaching was that they made disciples. They didn't just lead people to the Lord and go, okay, you're saved now, and away you go. They actually discipled them, and then when they left them, they appointed elders. And the elders were obviously kind of paid a bit of a a shepherd's role, an oversight role. I wouldn't say shepherds, but obviously an oversight role for the churches. There were, because it says in every church, appointed elders in every church. There were a few churches around the place. So I'll just leave that with you. I thought it was interesting. Just remember, when you're going through trials and tribulations and testing and persecutions, whatever they may be, remember they are there to strengthen your faith. So how do you strengthen your faith? You take whatever that persecution is, whatever that trouble and trial is, you commit it to the Lord, and you ask Him, Lord, do you have a word which is the substance for the situation that I need to hold on to, that I need to believe in you for, that I need to put my hope in you for. And whatever that word is, that's what you hold on to. And then you just trust in Him, and you do what you can do, and the rest you trust in Him to do what He needs to do. And whatever you do, make sure that you do it with the right heart, and that you do it as unto God, and that it is the right thing to do. So I just leave you with that, and I bless you until next time.